Hello, it's Sophie. I'm back for the 78th day in a row live, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about, I want to tell you a little story that happened this morning with my son, and that made me think of this title, Sometimes Hard Work is Necessary. I was working this morning with our youngest son, Benjamin, who's 7. We homeschool him, we homeschool our 3 children who are at home. And Ben is learning what 7-year-olds learn. He's learning the basics of mathematics and he's learning to read and to write. So far we've been concentrating on reading, and Ben is making a lot of progress, and he likes it a lot, and he's very enthusiastic, and it's great. And as he progresses through his reading, I've been thinking, we need to do some writing as well. So he writes little words and stuff, but we haven't been very, very regular about his writing the way we've been about his reading. And today I printed some fun worksheets that I thought he'd enjoy. And I said, Ben, now that you're 7, I think as well as reading a little bit every day, we need to do a bit of writing every day. And he kind of looked at me and, yeah, he was okay with it. Generally, he doesn't moan too much about doing schoolwork. He's quite enthusiastic about it. But anyway, he started, and it involves, tracing some words and reading them and copying them. It's not very long, and it's probably not terribly exciting, but it's not terribly boring either. And he was just plodding along, doing his few words, and then there was a little bit more at the end of the worksheet, and suddenly he sort of looked at me and he said, "Do I need to do that as well, Mum?" And you could just tell in his eyes that he wanted me to say, "Nah, you don't have to, But anyway, I said, "Yeah, I'm afraid you do." And he said, "Oh, and then he did it. And it didn't take long. Honestly, the whole thing might have taken 10 minutes maximum. But anyway, there was really something about the way he looked at me, the way he asked me, do I need to do that as well? And then when I told him, yes, you do, and he did it reluctantly. He didn't really want to do it, but somehow I could tell that he has sufficient trust in my system and in my knowledge that he just thought, well, I'd better do what she says if I want to be reading and writing properly. And yeah, this really made me smile and laugh, because it's very sweet to see these kids learn. But it made me think of my own online journey, and in fact of lots of other people's online journeys. I think I hear when I look online and in all these various webinars and trainings and all these things I've been doing for months now, there's a sort of pattern, and there are things that we told over and over again that we should do. And I get the feeling that often we're reluctant to do it because we think, do I really need to do that? Really? Can't I just not do it? Can't I avoid this pain or this boring thing? Yeah, and at least for me, there's a point where I felt, okay, I've just got to trust that these people know more than I do, and that they're not telling me to do this for nothing. If they tell me it's necessary, then it must be. I just have to sort of take their word for it and do it, even though I don't necessarily see why it's necessary. I think this happened with these lives when I heard Russell Brunson say, you need to be doing this every day for a year. And yes, it's long, and yes, it's a long time, and yes, it's a big commitment, but you just need to be doing it. And yeah, something in me just thought, okay, I have to trust him. I mean, he knows, he's Russell Brunson after all, he's super successful. You know, if he tells me I have to do it, I have to do it. And now, after 78 days, I can already see why it was necessary to do it, why it is necessary to do it. And I'm sure that in a few months further down the line, I'll see even more why this makes sense. But at the time, I just had to take his word for it, just like Ben has to take my word for it, that he has to practice reading and writing every day. And, you know, he has to trust that, yeah, I can write and I can read. And if he does what I tell him, he's going to write and read really well, you know. Um, so there you go. I'm someone who questions things a lot, who doesn't just obey blindly. I think it's very important to question and not to follow just what other people tell you to do. But I do think there's also, for some things, there are some times where you just have to take people's word for it and just sort of do what you're told, because you feel that you might not understand exactly why you have to do it and why it makes sense, but you just have to. And you have to trust that all will be clear eventually. So this is what I wanted to share today. I'll say goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.